And wow, looks like I'm going to be recording this third game as well. The reason I'm going to record this one is because it's very interesting. There's a bunch of high-tier tanks on each side. Lots of heavies, lots of mediums. There's not a single light tank on our side, but you might notice their team has 4 anti-tank and an artillery to our 1 anti-tank. So, at this point, the question is, does an anti-tank, in fact, beat this very heavy tank, heavy army? And the other thing is, they have more heavy tanks than we do. We have a bunch of, like, T-43s and stuff. Ooh, that was close. And we have a couple Tigers, and on their team, they have 2 Tiger 2s, a Ferdinand, which some of you may remember from my older video, is quite difficult to defeat, especially when people run into you like that. Had to make a last-second correction there that saved me from being destroyed. And as you can see, we have a set of T-43s. That's pretty much our leading edge in the Tiger. We also do have an East 3 somewhere, but I don't think that's going to factor into this game too much. I think their team is just going to be very, very content to turtle. We did spawn at the turtling location. Our spawn is the one where you're meant to just stay and defend. You see they all just line up at that wall of building and just wait for the other guys to come across. But it's not gonna work probably. At least that's what I think is gonna happen. At least I don't think it will work. Because the enemy's not going to come at them. And one of their anti-tanks. Jagdpanzer 4. Alright, so there's that. He basically committed suicide, ran right into that cannon. And that, for all of you to not see, is a T-34-85. With the experimental Object 10 cannon, which is the best cannon you can get on that, and the one that I hope I will get when I get to that tank. My T-34 at this point is completely pumped out. It has every single upgrade, and right now I'm just stockpiling XP to get the unlock of the 34-85. Oh god, I am running. Nope. I am not being like that guy. I am not a hero tank. I am running the hell away from here. There's 2 heavy tanks there, and with artillery support, there's really nothing I can do. The best thing I could have done there was run. I am not fast enough to be a scout. What? Hobus. Wow. And apparently going up a hill, I was one-shotted by one of their heavy tanks. So there you are. Apparently the high-tier heavy tanks pack a punch. 450 with 1 hit. Dear Lord, what the? I'm pretty sure it was just the timing. I think I was just like hit with an artillery and then hit with something else. But yeah, this match isn't exciting beyond that. I'll probably be back and show you the winner's scoreboard, which is going to be their team. Anti-tanks versus tanks. The Churchill, the crappiest of all the quote-unquote heavy tanks, and some people think you should actually reclassify it as a medium, but you shouldn't. It's just very bad, but it's still a heavy tank. It's got enough armors and stuff. Anyways, yeah, we are going to get raped with a capital R. The T-44 versus 43. Who is going to win? The T-44, of course. It has better armor and a better cannon. And its turret will have no problem keeping up with any sort of rotation because, well, the Russian tanks, they have fast turrets. And this guy, not so fortunate, is that T-43, he will die. And that T-43, with the help of that Panther III, was actually able to take out the T-44. So now we will watch as this hero attempts the ultimate sacrifice, going up against a heavy tank on his own. Oh, and there he goes. He was a bright light, but he burned out fast. And now we're back with Bear Cub, if you translate the name, and his IS-4. Wonderful heavy tank, has a plate on top of its cannon to protect it from, I would assume, artillery shells, and one nice little truss system in the back. If you look at the front, you'll just let me zoom out a little bit. Just look at the general curves of the tank. It really does look like a modern tank. Big cannon, flat wide turret. It's got some good armor on the front. Those armor angles aren't the traditional World War II angles, if you notice. There's the main, and then there's two auxiliary sort of curves. And if I do remember correctly, this tank was made late 40s, very early 50s. So it's closer to the modern school of tank design than anything else. And right there, it's two exhaust pipes and radiators. So let's see what else is going on. Here we have an IS and a VK3601, my least favorite of the German tanks. Just look at this ugly son of a bitch. This was meant to be a Panther. Look at that. It has like a secondary plate around its cannon just to make it look awkward. A machine gun sticking out the back for lols. And then its muffler just looks horrible. It looks like somebody just shoved like a rusty hog troll on the back of the thing. It has another machine gun in the front with very little apparent reason and just a bunch of hatches all over the place. The German tank engineers really love their hatches. It made it very easy for the crew and for the service people to access the tank. Here you can see the tank jack and service it. But the problem with that was you had to cut all those holes in the armor, and that's not simple. That's why it's called armor, because it's supposed to be very resistant to anything going through it. Also, it made the armor a lot weaker. When you cut a hole in armor, it obviously weakens the whole thing around it, not just the place where you cut the tank. So, German school of tank making, it was quirky. I think I could call it quirky. So here's that is for the hero. Took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shells to the face, and as you can see, quite a few of them ricocheted. Look at this one. So grazed, a couple of them grazed the tower. This one hit right above the observer and skidded up. And then, yeah, so he's gone on some bushes. There's no point in spectating him. Ugliest tank in the world. And an IS. That's all we have left. And myself, of course. Oh, and he just took down an IS with his mightiness. Mighty power tank. With shaped turret. Yeah, I like the turret on this. It's very smooth and fluid, and that means it was cast like in a mold, and the compound was just poured in there and let harden. That actually makes the armor weaker than if you use plates, because plates, when you're rolling them out, it strengthens them, obviously, rearranges the crystals, etc., etc. So there we are, getting boned by artillery, which we have none of to fire back at them. And they have lots of anti-tanks. Like there's their Ferdinand, and they have artillery support. So I mean, it's pretty quickly apparent which way this battle was going to go from the start, just by the way the teams were balanced. I mean, sure, the tanks were all in the same tier, but they were not of the same class. And I think they actually changed that in balancing and stuff. In a balancing patch, that artillery actually gets balanced by the class, so there'd be like more or less the same amount of artillery on each team rather than by the tier. Like here, it's pretty obvious they just balanced it by tier, because in terms of composition, not balanced at all. So there we are, 150 experience, the lowest I've earned in this tank yet. New records being set every days by me. So yeah. Sad story. And lots of damage. Maybe? Oh no, that's not bad. Nah. I only managed to fire one round, and it cost me 56 credits a round. Now to any of those of you who might have maybe perhaps just gotten into the beta with this latest round of invites, yeah, that'll seem like a lot to you, but yet again, I'm making like 20,000-30,000 a match, so it's not really that bad. And I need 700,000 for my next tank, but more importantly, I need 27,000 experience points. So I'll be a millionaire by the time that I get enough experience points. And that will take me about 50 or 60 matches, people say. And I'm inclined to believe them. I mean, the average you earn per match is about 500, so it makes sense. 500, 600, you know, good matches you do like 1,000, bad matches you do like 200. So it really depends on your luck. So yeah, till next time.